Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michał Gierat. I am the Managing Director of WM.International from Birmingham, UK. We are delighted with having you here today, all equally interested in mapping the challenges and possible venues to secure and to develop the transatlantic trade. While am I speaking now, let me invite you to our website, www.wm.international. Ladies and gentlemen, because we want life to be brighter and more positive, we don't really want to make anyone depressed. Therefore, we will not be talking about COVID today, nor its repercussions for the business. We all are watching tons of information about its impact on the global economy, which shrinks. We want, however, to say something positive, and to many of you, what may be surprising, we're going to talk about Brexit and its positive results for global trade. In general, Brexit has already triggered a series of commercial actions, which has got natural consequences for the trade globally. With the Brexit negotiations still to be finalized and the economies worldwide trying to recover post-COVID, we are already witnessing introductions of first simplifications and relaxations. The most significant and securing the continuity of the trade, of which our two experts, Michelle Higgins and Rory McAvoy, will be elaborating today, is certainly the UK Global Tariff Scheme, UKGT. Basically, no matter what Brexit negotiations will bring for the post-Brexit relationships between the UK and the European Union, the UK government has already announced the new UK customs regulations, zero duty rating on many products, or even the removal of licenses requirements on most important commodities, has one overall aim: to recover quickly from the recent crisis. Speaking of the security, our experts will also elaborate about AEO certification, whose role has been gradually increasing and will be raising even more after the 1st of January 2021. As we will have said about tariffs and compliance requirements for the global business, we must not forget about the international trade regulations, called Incoterms, as well as the deferring VAT payments opportunities. Before my colleagues start, let me apologize for possible flaws in our speeches, as we are not professional speakers, but a team of true freight forwarding specialists and experts in customs clearance and transport planning. Please, therefore, be generous, as we humbly realized that it is much easier for us to import 10 40-foot containers from Florida to Swindon than to prepare an elaborative lecture for you. Before I pass the voice to my colleague Rory, let us answer the first poll, referring to our first discussed bit, UK global tariffs. I will ask for the first poll. Yep. Has your business already managed to audit the import tariff changes based on the mid-May publication of the UK global tariffs? We will wait a little while for the answer. Thank you. We'll be finishing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Can we have the results, please? Thank you very much. Okay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today, which we will hope you will find beneficial for your business requirements going forward. With the Brexit negotiations still to be finalised and economies trying to recover post-COVID, we're looking at a scenario of relaxations by HMRC on UK customs regulations, including zero duty rating on many products and removal of licence requirements on many steel items. So as part of the G20 group, the overall aim is to recover quickly from the recent crisis. At WM.International, we're very keen to be part of this process, and our website gives a detailed description of our services which we offer to the freight industry. We are increasing our portfolio on a regular basis whilst maintaining high levels of customer service. We'll always be approachable on a personal level to fully understand the requirements of our customers and offer the best solutions. It's a core principle of our company that we're not only competent in what we do, but also very accessible, and will always work in the best interests of the customer. So at WM.International, we operate with a dedicated European department and also a dedicated international department. So it can handle any road freight, sea freight, air freight inquiry on worldwide imports or export orders as appropriate. So using this very expertise and in close cooperation with our colleagues overseas, I'd like to elaborate on how we see future transatlantic freight movements. I'm just going to move on to the next slide.
You can find it.
Just bear with us 1 second and we'll... So the CPTPP group, which is the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. Let's see now, we're just opening up the slide. Bear me 1 second. So consisting of 11 member countries, including Japan, Australia, New Zealand and Canada, estimated to have 13.5% of total global gross domestic product, or global GDP for short, but which could increase to 16% with UK involved. This allows for a free trade agreement within the group. The UK already has strong business connections with these other countries, so this would only go to enhance this. As an example, Japan accounts for nearly half of the CPTPP GDP. It's a strong driving force. So coming just a week after the UK and Japan commenced their free trade negotiations, the UK's entry into the CPTPP would be a welcome development, with the possibility of further expanding the bloc, making it more attractive to other prospective customers. So I think we need to link onto the UK GT, don't we now?
UK GT.
Yeah. Okay, so the UK GT, which is the UK Global Tariff, which will be coming into effect from the 1st of January of 2021. So we're just going to link into that now for you and give you the update on that. So, okay, the UK Global Trades Agreement, valid from the 1st of January 2021, is designed to encourage business growth, specifically within the manufacturing and food-based industries. It will show zero duty rates applied to many products, including renewables, nuts and screws, etc., and reduced duty on many other products. The tariff is already linked to the UK government website for easy access, so that customers can plan ahead for any products they are involved with in order to assess duty and VAT ratings VAT ratings. It is calculated that 16.8% of commodities are classed as liberalised headings, which will show duty-free status, and 40.2% of commodities are broken down into simplified headings, which will show duty ratings rounded down to be expressed as a single percentage. We expect there'll be no change to 33.5% of the current EU tariff, and the remaining 9.5% of commodities are affected by other elements such as currency conversion from euro to GBP. There's also to consider reduced or zero tariffs can also apply under the generalised system of preference scheme, duty suspension, or through tariff rate quotas. And if you just bear with us, we're just moving on to the next one now for you. Bear with me 1 second.
Okay, good afternoon, or good evening to some, good morning to some of you. Just wanted to touch quickly on the deferred VAT, postponed VAT accounting, which will apply to all UK imports of EU and non-EU goods from the 1st of January 2021. This means that payment of import VAT is deferred and can be accounted for on the VAT return. Now, currently, to enable deferment of VAT, importers would have to either obtain a duty deferment guarantee, which is usually supported by a bank guarantee, or apply for SEVA, which is simplified import VAT accounting. As our company, WM, we do have a deferment account, which a lot of our customers do use if they don't have their own. So when the UK leaves the EU VAT regime, import VAT will apply to all goods brought into the UK. And for many businesses, this would have meant a significant cash flow problem, but the postponed accounting system should help with this. I'll just pass you over to Rory.
Okay, so just moving on now to the MRA. So what this relates to, it's a mutual recognition agreement, specifically between the UK, with USA, New Zealand and Australia. And this allows for reciprocal agreements on testing of items at origin, which will be accepted without further testing at the destination for electromagnetic compatibility items, telecommunication equipment, pharmaceuticals, marine equipment, and it comes into effect from 1st of January 2021. This means that UK exporters can continue to ensure the goods are compliant with technical regulations before they depart the UK, saving businesses time, money and resources, and then exporters to the UK benefit in the same way on a reciprocal basis. So regarding the UK to USA trade lanes, for example, the total UK to US trade in sectors covered by the deal is worth up to £12.8 billion based on, sorry for 1 second, just lost me right there for a second. So bear with me 1 second. No, we lost it. You need to go back to the one. You'll have to bear with us on this one. We're just having a little technical difficulty, but this is going to now be resolved and we're back. So, yeah, as I was saying, covered by the deal is worth up to £12.8 billion based on recent average trade flows. Of this, the UK exports covered are worth an estimated £8.9 billion, more than a fifth of the total UK goods exports to the US. Commodities included within the MRA would include pharmaceuticals, tech sectors, and telecommunications. Okay, thank you very much for that.
We will now ask for the poll, for the second poll.
Okay, I think that's just coming up now.
Is
Okay.
your business AEO accredited? And the possible reply is yes, we have it. Yes, we have it, but we don't know how much. We don't know much about its importance. No, we don't have it yet. No, as we do not know why we should need it. I don't know.
And I said all that without moving my mouth.
Okay, can we start counting? 4, 3, 2, 1. Can we have the results, please? Yes, I have it. Brilliant. No, we don't have it yet. Okay, brilliant.
Okay.
Okay, let's get back to the slides.
I'll be there in a moment.
Yep.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, within the single market and the customs union, as we are at present, a company holding an authorised economic operator, AEO, certificate, and have already had a clear advantage when exporting, especially to the United States and the world's largest economies, through mutual recognition agreements. Post-Brexit, AEO certification will become even more desirable as an internationally recognised tool to keep cargo moving. The EU and the UK are expected to recognise each other's AEO schemes in a post-Brexit environment. As the number of businesses with AEO status steadily increases, so will the pressure on other companies to also comply. Priority clearance for AEO certificated businesses will, by default, mean that non-certificated organisations will be dealt with a secondary concern. When time is of the essence, such delays in delivery will inevitably prove even more costly. So, being a holdout of AEO status, this offers a number of advantages in international trade. Even though there can be no denying that achieving AEO status is time-consuming and often a daunting exercise, the commercial benefits can be immense. So what benefits do AEO have to offer? Well, there's greater access to priority clearance, which gives us a higher level of control over operations, reduced administration, traceability of flow of goods, financial solvency, fewer delays in dispatch, practical standards of competence, and professional qualifications, which are held by several members of staff here at WM, quicker access to certain customs procedures, including some HMRC safety and security procedures. Now, risk management is an important part of AEO. Obtaining AEO requires evidence of sound security procedures, including IT security and personnel security measures. An AEO enjoys more favourable treatment than any other economic operators in respect of customs controls, which includes fewer physical and documentary controls, and the extent to which a company receives such facilities depends on the specifications in the license. Sorry, I'm having a problem with my slides. Okay, in many countries with AEO programs have implemented mutual recognition agreements, which is something that Rory touched on earlier. These agreements have two primary features: cooperation between the customs administrators of two countries and collaboration in providing defined benefits to AEO certified under one country's programme when their consignments are processed at the border of one another. So by mutual recognition of AEOs, two customs administrations agree to recognise the AEO authorisation issued under the other programme and provide reciprocal benefits to AEOs of the other programme. So consequently, if a company has achieved AEO status in one country, it should be entitled to have that status recognised directly by the country to which it ships its goods, enabling that shipment to be recognised as a low consignment at import. So this is the case with shipments exported from New Zealand, for example. In this regard, New Zealand Customs has announced that goods exported to the US traders who are members of its Voluntary Secure Export Scheme, which is an AEO type scheme, are 3.5 times likely to be held up for examination upon arrival at a US port, which I'm sure you can agree is a very good thing. The specific benefits are contained in each mutual recognition agreement, but in general, the benefits include the following core elements. So we've got fewer security and safety related controls, recognition of business partners during the application process, priority treatment at customs clearance, and business continuity mechanism in the event of major disruption. Which takes me on to trusted trade lanes post-Brexit. So importers, exporters, transporters, service providers can move goods between trade lanes with very few inspections, checks, and documentation, as that will be done before and after. So these frictionless borders have been tested operationally by EU and Norway during 4 years on the Sweden-Norway border with great success. However, to implement a smart border with no infrastructure at the border, there must be a maximum level of trust between the two countries on each side. In addition, there needs to be sorry, flipping through our screen. Oh, dear. Sorry about that. Okay, where was I? Okay, so however, to implement a smart border with no infrastructure at the border, there must be a maximum level of trust between the two countries on each side. In addition, there needs to be a trusted trade lane involving the companies who are registered at trusted traders, which then moves the border formalities and potential inspections away from the border to before and after the operational trade transaction. The remaining aspect of a smart border is that the government on both sides need to know the exact time when the goods pass the border. So this timestamp regulates a wide range of the laws and regulations that constitutes the border formalities. Okay, the status of the goods, ownership of the legal obligations, time that manifests, if certain rules and regulations are applicable or not. Different technology solutions that have given us this timestamp, such as number plate readers, CCTV cameras, and GPS, GCM technology, and many other options. However, with maximum trust between two parties, we can also let the trusted trader report this timestamp. As AEO has gone digital with software online, companies and governments can manage and monitor everything electronically, removing the need for paperwork, becoming faster and less costly. And this provides security and higher benefits for both parties as they manage their compliance through a system online. Okay, so as with everything, Brexit adds a new dimension to the AEO. It's almost certain that we will continue to use the Union Customs Code, the UCC, until we have time to develop a corresponding UK Customs Code to avoid a legal vacuum in a hard or soft Brexit. So it's essential for supply chain to remain effective to avoid any port congestion, be it seaports or airports. Okay, so whichever type of Brexit, AEO will provide stability for customs simplifications, guarantee levels, fewer delays, and favourable treatment. If the AEO is gained under EU legislation, the EU will more readily accept the certification parity, as will third countries in recognising current mutual recognition agreement. And as we have applied for AEO ourselves, we have gained a knowledge of AEO and how to apply for it. So please do not hesitate to contact us for any information, as we are more than happy to help. I'll just pass you back over to our Rory.
Okay. So we'll just lead on to the next section now, which closely aligned to what Michelle's mentioned there regarding the smart borders, AEO, etc. Leading us into the Incoterms, subjects of Incoterms. It's very important. It's a very important commercial agreement terms, which should be clearly defined between the shipper and the consignee/customer at the time of placing the initial orders. So, for instance, Ex-Works, FOB, or FCA enables the buyer to control the costs, whereas CNF or CIF would place that responsibility onto the shipper of the goods. Added to that, we have DDU, delivery duty unpaid, or DDP, delivery duty paid, which would be the responsibility for the shipper of the goods. So there are very subtle differences between FOB and FCA terms. It's very important for customers to be very specific with their shippers on what costs are covered under these terms. FCA can lead to unforeseen origin local fees being applied, which can include some handling fees, etc., which hadn't been accounted for. FOB terms actually date back to the days when cargo would be loaded onto sailing ships. And even after 30 years in the industry, I can't remember back that far. So there is a focus on replacing this with FCA terms, which is more specific to loading cargo at inland warehouses on the quayside or nearby. And it'd be more relevant in these days of super container vessels, but buyers beware of any hidden costs involved. And that's pretty much covers for... and if there's any aspects to that you need further information on, just contact us via our website or email addresses, and we'll be very happy to assist you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, bringing goods for our customers is our mission and privilege. I would like to thank each one of you for your attention and for your time. I hope well spent with us. If you liked our today's webinar and you found it informative, please do not hesitate to email us. As WM.International, we are constantly increasing our customers' portfolio whilst maintaining the highest level of customer service alike. As you could see, we're very approachable and accessible people, trying to fully understand the requirements of all our customers, big companies or small companies, and to offer both the best solutions. It is a core principle of our company that we are not only competent in what we do, but also very accessible, and will always work in the best interest of our customers. Thank you very much for your attendance. If you have any questions that you would like to share with us, please leave the questions on the board or email us on info@WM.International. We'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you very much.